The Marines are temporarily assigned to perform a top-secret mission. The forest suddenly appeared. A large number of strange creatures, is the speed of light towards the base, quickly approach the soldier, as if the enemy all tightly hold their breath. The fire god Gatling on the tank also turned on the infrared ray, automatic lock, enemy function, ready to meet the arrival of the enemy. The muzzles of all weapons were pointed in the direction of the trees, and they had not yet put on their night vision, ready to observe the enemy's movement. But the distance was empty and dead, and there was nothing but bare trees. But Shen Wei did not take it lightly, because the calm before the storm is the most terrible. Suddenly, the headquarters sent an unlimited telegram. The enemy's position is less than 2 kilometers away from the base, and through the satellite image observation, the size of the target reached the human ridge times, and even issued a strong magnetic field pulsation. But before the words were finished, all the lights of the entire base went out. At the same time, not realizing what was going on for a second, they rushed to release Vanguard police dogs to investigate, and then raised their hands to a palm sound, and shot into the sky. At this time, the soldiers clearly perceived a strong oppression, because they could have maintained the light for half an hour, but were engulfed in darkness within 3 seconds. Then the forest sounded the wailing sound of police dogs. Not yet shot the only remaining player. They have vaguely smelled the smell of the enemy. The soldiers could not help but begin to nervous. The next second, countless dark shadows on the roll, not yet a command. All weapons at the same time launched an attack, but the enemy was facing the bullets towards them. Crazy approach. Gatling also instantly opened the fire to the maximum towards the enemy, began crazy shooting. The soldiers only hated the low muzzle rate at the moment, and in the face of these unidentified creatures with thick skin, the bullets were difficult to cause substantial damage. The battle continued until dawn. Only one of the 80 soldiers survived, but he was crushed under the body of an enemy, and then he saw that the enemy had sharp claws. When the soldiers could not hold onto it, the reinforcements who cleaned the battlefield found it was still alive, and they found that it was a big brown bear. After hanging up the enemy's body with a chain, they were in a battle with a pack of brown bears. But there were more of them than anyone could have imagined, and the soldiers were lucky to survive. But at that moment, an even bigger disaster struck downtown. The city's tall buildings were pierced by huge energy, and the crowds who had no time to escape returned to ashes. On the spot, the soldier looked at the terrible sight and could not imagine what weapon had caused it. Similarly, last night, 20,000 brown bears attacked a base on the outskirts of town, killing 80 special forces. In order to figure out the reason for all this, an investigation team came to the city, and then immediately saw the strange reason. I saw them all lying full of bodies of citizens, but the body did not have a wound. Later, the team explored other places, and found the same situation. When they were forced, the roof suddenly came. Several shots. They immediately rushed upstairs, only to see teammates attacked by a mysterious man. He grabbed the soldier's gun, jumped directly from the roof. Several people immediately shot. Dense bullet. Shot in the past, but the bullet clearly hit the man, but the man did not react to escape. A few people also froze on the spot, but suddenly, a group of armed soldiers appeared, and towards a few people around. The battle immediately started. The soldiers used Gatling machine guns to strafe under the orderly ring attack opposite. The mob soon fell into pieces, but because the number of both sides is too great, so they sooner or later all hidden hate here. Critical moment. Female reporters turned out. The flare toward the sky launched out, hoped to see the headquarters after sending troops to support. But to their surprise, the headquarters here. This has itself difficult to protect. I saw the sky appear. Dense missiles flew towards the headquarters. In the past, just before the missile was about to land, the anti-aircraft turret of the base immediately opened fire, and the missiles exploded in the air. But helpless, flying missile latitude, a fish slipped through the net, slowly fell. An instant violent explosion. The entire base flattened. At the same time, a soldier spots the trail of the mysterious man who has escaped, but then he is confronted with a terrifying sight. The man in front of him has no mouth. If aliens were coming to Earth for the first time, what would they look like? The bald man without a mouth is an alien, he told the woman in front of the small beauty. The race has begun to invade the Earth. All kinds of strange events happened before. Are his similar manipulation. Want to save the Earth? You have to quickly find all. The initiator of Big Strong. Small beauty. After listening to choose, believe bald head, then bald hand touched the face of the soldier. A magical scene immediately occurred. Soldiers unexpectedly sensed the coordinates of the Big Strong. Teammates quickly handed the paper and pen, and then soldiers marked the location on the map. Since several people found the Big Strong, soldiers immediately want to arrest it, but only to be thrown out of. The Big Strong almost fell from 10,000 feet. Then the two aliens scuffled together. But to people who cannot do who, at this time, the soldiers were scared to climb back to the rooftop. Big Strong a distraction was. Bald man seized the opportunity to issue a kill. Directly pulled out the Big Strong energy core. The soldiers on the side of the grenade plug-in. Big Strong then in place a spark. Blink of a night, did not move. But when the people thought the crisis had been solved, only to see the bald man suddenly rebel. At this time, he slowly closed his eyes. The next second, the soldiers were enchanted. From the rooftop, jumped down. The crowd on the street was like an instant away. Pieces of fall in a flash. The whole there is no living person in the same city. The bald man is the real behind the scenes, and the big strong who died just now is a good man. The soldiers who found the truth picked up a knife and wanted to kill Bald Head, but the dagger was stabbed in. The Small Beauty, the original Bald Head, cast secret method, and Small Beauty exchange position. Small Beauty directly went to the northwest. Teammates immediately opened fire. But the bullets had no effect on the bald man. Then he transformed into a father, who had been a soldier for many years to attack. But the soldiers soon saw the flaw. Holding the bald man's body, jumped down together. He sacrificed himself and finally killed the alien. A crisis was completely solved.